Okay, let's talk about groups and creating groups and group management, just the basics. If you want to join a group and you know where you have to have the group code, or you've had to have a connection request sent to you. So someone might possibly send you an email with a website and you can connect. So let me just show you about the basics of joining. Over here are where all your groups are. And if you click search groups, this searches the groups that you're a part of. Okay, it doesn't search for groups that are out there. So I have a lot of groups that I'm a part of. You can see all these, and actually if I scroll down, look at the long list of groups that I'm a part of. It's a ton. So if you want to find a certain group that you're in, it'll search for it, and it brings up all groups that have teachers in. So if I want to see what's going on in my teachers group, I can click on teachers, and then up here it's going to show me, here's my teachers group, here's the posts that go with the teachers group, here's all the folders that go with the teachers group, and here's the members that are in the teachers groups. So that's the first thing. If you want to join a group, all you have to do is click on join and put in whatever the group code is and click join. You'll get a message saying you are a part of the group. If for some reason you get a message saying invalid group code, make sure you check the code. All codes are lowercase, and make sure it's a 0 instead of an O, that it's an I instead of an L, because sometimes those are confusing, before you try to contact someone for the correct group code. Doesn't mean group codes sometimes aren't incorrect, but just make sure, and you click join. Now if you want to create a group, all you have to do is click on create. And there are certain parameters that you need to set up. Create a group name. Make it explain what the group is about. And if you're in a big school environment, such as the environment that I work in, Adams 12 in Colorado, there's a lot of people that are possibly creating groups. And there might be people who are creating similar groups for various reasons. So we're going to suggest you put an identifier like the school that you are associated with and creating the group. So people know when they're joining the group, it doesn't mean they have to be going to North Glen Middle School to be part of the North Glen Middle School group, but it is an identifier. Sometimes when I create groups, I put my name in front of it, Joel's practice group. Then you can select a grade. Now if you're creating a group for a course, for students, of course you can select a different grade. You can also make a range. So if it's a range of ages, and you can slide it over and it changes the grade level range. Or you can just pick one. If you're doing something for adults and it's not at a college level and you're just doing some professional development or a group for a bunch of teachers you work with, you can just do none. Then you can pick the subject area. And if it's something covering all the subject areas, you can pick all. If it's other, you can pick other, and it can be anything. And just say I'm creating this group for professional development, I can click professional development. And then what the subject is, either all or Edmodo training. So those are your two choices. These things, are they important? Not necessarily, because they're really not going to show up anywhere except for in the group settings. Now under advanced options, these are two features as owner that you have control over. You can make all new members read only, which you probably don't want to do because that means they can't post to the group at all. So unless this is a group where you just want people reading stuff that you're posting, you don't want to check this box off. Now the moderate all posts and replies, if you're doing this with kids possibly and you want to make sure that the posts and the replies are appropriate, you can check off moderate posts and replies. And what this is going to do is you're going to get notifications of these posts, and then you can check them out and see if they are okay or not and allow them to be posted to the site. I usually don't default this, and the only reason I'd say you add this is I believe in trusting in my students. And if I set expectations in the beginning for how you're going to appropriately post and reply to messages, this does not become necessary. But in case you find out you've got a whole bunch of people in your class not posting appropriately, you can then do this. Now, if you find that there's just one person in your group that's read only, you can set that group member to read only, and I'll show you how you can do that. And then you just click Create Group. Now what this does is, here is the group code that you send to people that you want to join the group. So here's my Joel's practice group. And if I want to see the things that have to do with Joel's practice group, I can click on Joel's practice group. And now I'm in there. No posts because I just created it. So we have posts, folders, members, and now I have this thing called small groups. When you're an owner of a group, you can also make small groups, which are essentially subgroups of a big group, but we'll get to that later in another session. Once you're in your group, here's the code again. So as the owner, you can see the code. You can also reset the code if you want. I'm going to actually lock this code so it doesn't get changed. When I was talking about this group, you can send a URL to someone if for some reason you don't want to send this code, which just changed, which is kind of funny. So be careful on this. Obviously, maybe when you unlock it, it resets it. So group code, be careful of that. You don't have to lock it if you don't want to, because no one can change the group code but you. So here's the join group URL. So if for some reason you don't want to send out a code, you can copy this long web address. I just highlighted it and right-clicked to copy it. And you can email or send out however you want to this web address. And when people click on it, it's going to send you a notification saying this person has requested to join the group. So why would you do this instead of just sending out the code? Well, maybe you're forming a bigger group and you want to post it to everybody in Edmodo, and you want to get people outside of your district or your school or your normal group, and you want to hit the whole world. So maybe you want to post it to one of the communities that you joined and say, hey, anyone want to join my group about Kagan learning, or anyone want to join my group, we're trying to improve math scores. Then you can control who joins the group, because you'll get the request and you can check out the person and see if you want to let them. So once again, group settings here, you can go back in and change any of the settings in your group. So like I said, if you want to change things to moderate posts, you can do that. You can also delete a group if you want to delete a group, or if you make a class and you want to archive it so it still exists and you can still get the information from it, but not have it appear on your main group list, you can archive the group. A couple other features is you have a public page. So if for some reason you wanted some people to see what's going on in your group but not being part of the group, if you click on public page, this is what people will see. Notice all the posts, things on the side and groups are gone, all the group settings and everything, recent activities gone. So this would be if for some reason someone outside of Edmodo, you wanted them to see it. This is the web address you could send them, and they could see what's going on in your group. They can't post to it, they can't make any changes, but if you wanted to share for some reason with someone in the outside the Edmodo world what's going on in your group, you can do it that way. Also, subscribe to group to feed. If you're not familiar with RSS feeds, subscriptions to different websites, don't worry about this. We'll talk about this in a future session. If you do know what this little icon is, all you have to do is subscribe the group to feed and put the feed address in, and it will put in all the feed into that group. But be careful with it, because you know how if you're familiar with feeds, it can be a lot of information and you don't want to bombard your group with information that you don't want. Another thing, advanced options that we went over in posts, remember down here, if for some reason you don't want to get notifications from this group, you can uncheck the notification box and not get notifications from this group. I do not recommend unchecking the show and latest posts because especially if you turn off notifications, how are you going to know what's going on in that specific group? And also remember, you must be a member of a group to post to that group.